You are. Okay, fine, fine. Now, let me introduce myself. This is Dr. Bijendra Jha this side, right? And I'll teach you polity, right, for the next 2-3 months, right? And my educational background, I have done BA, MA, MPhil, PhD, all from Delhi, right? BA, MA from University of Delhi, and MPhil and PhD from JNU. I was teaching at Zakir Hussain College also. I was engaged in research in Center for Policy Research, located in Delhi. I also worked with Indian government, for few years, 2 years, and I had also worked with the University of Brown University, US, right? Again, 2 years, and then from the few years, I'm training the young mind, for the UPSC. So I'll teach you, the polity, and I have been told that this is your first class, right? This is our first class. So this is my short introduction, right? Now I would like to hear from your side, right? And we will know each other time to time, right? Briefly, you can introduce yourself, first Avinav and then Shivani. I'm taking alphabetic order, or you may, Shivani, you go first and introduce yourself.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, quite clear.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. I'm Shivani from Damo, MP, and
You're from
Damo,
Jammu.
MP, sir, Madhya Pradesh.
MP. Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Madhya Pradesh, and I have given my first attempt in the 2022. Now it would be my second attempt.
So when you are planning for your attempt, 2024,
24, sir. Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had already, and what's your educational background?
So I have done my graduation.
What was your subject?
Maths, science.
Maths and Science, BSc basically, Bachelor of Science, right?
Yes, sir.
And math was your main subject.
Right, sir.
Okay, great. So you must have, thought about your optional paper, right?
Yes, sir.
What would be your optional paper?
So I chose public administration.
Great. So public add your optional, and then GS everyone has to go through.
Yes, sir.
Very good. And you first time you had attempted in 2022,
22,
right?
right?
How was
Yeah.
your score?
I had calculated myself. It was 50 marks.
Okay.
Yeah.
50 marks, right? And I think, our cutoff was approx 87, 89 around.
Yeah, right, sir.
Yeah. Abhinav is not able to listen me. I don't know why, but Abhinav, can you just refresh yourself? Since Sivani is listening me, you would be also, you should be able to hear me clearly. So 50 marks. Okay. So when have you finished your bachelor? Shivani?
2016, sir. Not 16.
2016.
No, not 16, sir. 2017.
17. And what did you do in these 3 years, 4 years?
So I was working in a private limited company midwhile, and after that
Okay.
I quit my job for UPSC, and meanwhile I also study in MSc with physics.
Okay.
So 1 year
What
I
kind
have
of
completed with what, sir?
what kind of job you did in the last 2-3 years?
So I
17 to
was
20.
working as an accountant
Okay, great. Accountant. Where?
in Damo, sir. In Damo also, and in Indore I have worked
Okay, you worked in
as a
Indore
junior
and
accountant. Yeah, as
okay,
a junior accountant.
fine.
Yeah.
So why did you, why did you leave that job?
Because I want to go in government job in UPSC.
Fine, fine.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. Avinav is not able to hear me. What should I do? I hope Shivani, I'm audible to you, right?
Yes, perfectly. Yeah.
In the same manner, I would have, I should be audible to Avinav as well. So I think from this side it's okay. And Shivani, are you in Delhi or somewhere? Are you located in there? In
No, sir. I am taking class from my home also, home only, from Madhya Pradesh. But I want to come in offline batch, but my parents is not allowing me to go to Delhi.
Yeah, that's happened. That's happened. There are two regions. One is security, right? Security is the
Yeah.
prime concern,
Yeah.
right? And being a girl child, you'll be the prime concern of your parent,
Yes.
nahi?
Right.
Right?
Right, sir.
And secondly, if you see the financial expenditure, you have to do a lot while
Yeah.
going in Delhi, staying in Delhi. Right? So
Right,
two
sir.
are the regions. Primarily region are the security region. नहीं होता है ना?
Because it is first concern of my parents that
Yeah,
there is
exactly,
no.
exactly. Being
Yeah.
girl child, I can understand. I can understand. The agony of parent. Yeah, it
Yeah.
happens. But there are many people. Yeah, there are many girls who are staying in Delhi. Right? It depends on individual. Right?
Yeah.
Of
Right.
course, the safety issues, security issues, especially for girls, are everywhere. Girls are not secure even in their household, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
There are. If you look at the, harassment of women, if you look at the data, I'm not talking about the particular, I'm talking about in general. If you look at the, harassment, the charges, cases of rape, violence against women, this is omnipresent everywhere, right? Hmm. Anyway, that's good. That's a good. You stay at home, and whenever you want, you can come to Delhi and join us on offline,
Yes, I
right?
am trying my best to convey my parents.
Yeah. But if you stay there, that's also good, right? You
Yeah.
should also understand their agony, their inconveniences. Fine. So
Yes, sir.
that's fine. Yeah. Now I'll turn to Avinav. Avinav, I'm not audible. I hope. Am I?
Abhinav,
If I'm
check your
audible to you, that's fine.
voice.
If you are not audible to me, if you can't speak because your microphone is not working, that's already fine. We are totally dependent on technology. Microphone is not working, but you can listen me. Fine. Can you listen me? Oh, you can listen me. Okay, that's. I thought you can't listen me. But तो ये दोनों तरफ का problem हो जाता. Just you put some writing. I know that your name is Avinav, right? You are from here. You have done BA from this and that, or bachelor in science, or commerce, or BTech or BE, whatever you have done, your educational qualification. BA second year, very good. BA second year. From where you are doing this bachelor degree? Hindu College, Moradabad. Okay, not very far from Delhi, right? 4.5 hour journey from Delhi, right? गाजियाबाद, हापुड़ के बाद तो मोरादाबाद आता है ना? You done your PCM in 12th. Okay, great. And 10th में तो of course you had to take all subjects. Fine. Sir, I'm from I belong to Bihar. I'm from Bihar, right? born and brought up in Bihar, till 10th, I received all education from there. And then I shifted to Ranchi, there where I have taken my 12th, and then I shifted to Delhi for my bachelor and then further education. Fine. Okay. So this is the first class, and how much you know about UPSC examination, right? First, we should know where we are going, right? How much you know about UPSC examination? Yeah, Abhinav, Shivani, both. You can speak, you can write, but better if you can speak. I can hear you. How much do you know about this examination? Let me talk about first examination. It is a public service, fine. It is a, yeah, it is a civil services basically, right? The higher post for civil servants are recruited under this examination. In various fields, we can excel in many ways. Yeah, yeah, speak up. How much you know that? The higher civil services posts are filled through this examination. All right. This is a good way by knowing UPSC. Right? Was it present in Mughal era? Tell me anything that you know about. Was this examination in Mughal era? Or is it that the British government, right, British authority introduced this examination? British, yeah, East India Company, especially Macaulay, right? The Macaulay committee introduced, examination-based recruitment. Earlier, if you look at the recruitment, it is not that the civil, bureaucrat was not there earlier, but they were recruited through patronage, right? Patronage system, जानते हो? Patronage system, you know both Hindi, yeah? You both know Hindi. या सो पैट्रोनेज सिस्टम होता है भाई भतीजावाद जिसको हिंदी में कहते हैं राइट कि किसी की भाई है एंड एक उसका बड़े भाई बड़े अच्छे पोस्ट पे है तो छोटे भाई को भी उसी जगह पे लगवा दिया राइट दैट इज कॉल्ड नेपोटिज्म राइट इफ यू लुक एट ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट दे इंट्रोड्यूस्ड एग्जामिनेशन that is the first things and that continued even in the post-independent India, right? Now I will not move into that. You know what, how many examination you have to give? There are 3 levels of examination. I hope you know this. 3 levels of examination. The first level is, that's you call PT, preliminary test, right? And in PT you have, you have syllabus, right? In PT, how many you want? So now, sir, is working bank. Yeah, you can speak of, right? But let me see. So first level of examination is called PT, preliminary test. And in that test, you don't need to excel. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको 100 कर लेना है. Just you have to cross the mark. That is cross the mark or border. राइट फॉर एग्जाम्पल पीटी में आपको पता है पीटी का सिलेबस भी छोटा होता है इट्स नॉट लाइक बड़ा होता है राइट देर आर पर्टिकुलर सिलेबस फॉर पीटी एंड मेंस बट our study should not be focused on our only PT and neither on only men's. There should be, a integral, a composite method to study. सो जो भी हम लोग पढ़ेंगे उसी में से पीटी का निकल के आ जाएगा. Second layer of examination is, and at PT you have two paper. You know, paper 1 and paper 2. One is GS paper and one is CSAT paper. Right? CSAT paper is qualifying and GS paper is, of course, you have to, cross the border line. And this mark will not be added into the final list. Here you have men's. You have men's, and here how many papers you have to go? You have 4 GS paper. GS paper 1, GS paper 2, GS paper 3, and GS paper 4. Right? I will deal with GS paper 2. That is, what is it? That is GS paper 2. Here, you know what is GS paper 2? Syllabus. पहला काम है परीक्षा को अच्छे से जानना है, सिलेबस को अच्छे से जानना है, राइट? और सिलेबस के हर पार्ट को एक पढ़ना है. बेसिकली we need to focus on each part of syllabus, in little detail. And then what is paper GS paper 2? Can you speak up?
Sir, it's quality.
Yeah, quality. Then yeah, great.
I'm not sure about the others.
Quality, and then constitution, then social justice, then governance, and then IR, international relation. Right? In the next 2-3 months, we will deal with polity and constitution. Right? And including social justice, of course. I will include the social justice. Right? Governance, there will be separate class for governance and there will be separate class for international relation. You are not audible, Shivani. I never spoke, little while ago. Now, if you look at, here the 4 GS paper along with you have to essay paper, है ना? तो ये देखो 250 का each you have to attempt 250, 250, 250 and 250. Again here you have 250. यही है ना? And then you have to attempt optional paper. नहीं. In optional paper you have to 2 paper again. What is that? Paper 1 and paper 2. And each paper contains 250 yani 500. Now you can add how many paper you have to attempt. You have to write a lot. Right? Look at 1000 का तो ये हो गया है ना, and 500 का ऑप्शनल हो गया, 250 का ये हो गया. टोटल कितने हो गए हमारे? I'm just moving. If you look at GS, we have 4, right? Paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4. right? Again, optional has two, paper 1 and paper 2, right? And paper 1 again 250 and 250. Can you add how many 250 are there? Right, you can see here 750, 1750. That is total marks. यही है ना? 500 ये optional and then 1000 GS and then 250 this. 1750 in total. Now you can see how many hours you have to write. Right? Now 3 hours for each. You can see 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, right? You can see 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours. How many? That means, it means you have to write a lot, right? You have to write a lot, and we should prepare for men's, right? And that preparation will, will also help you a lot in the PT, and it will also help you in for the your interview, isn't it? कितना होता है इंटरव्यू में? कितना होता है? इंटरव्यू के लिए कितना मार्क्स होता है? कितने मार्क्स का इंटरव्यू होता है? That is called personality test.
Not sure, sir. Not sure.
Okay, no problem. Are you aware about Shivani? Personality test कितने मार्क्स का होता है? No, sir. Okay. It is about, 175, राइट? तो कितना हो गया? 5 ही हो गया, 200 समथिंग होता है जोड़ के, 7 5 12 नहीं हो। पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट होता है 225 या 175 का। एनीवे, नाउ 7 5 12 2 7 17 8 टोटल होता है 1825 का, 275 का होता है क्या? एनीवे, पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट होता है, राइट? It is 175. Now, if you see that your GS and your optional paper, everything should be prepared, in vast. 275. Yeah, I was missing 275. Thank you, Shivani. Right? So आप देखेंगे कि थोड़ा अगर जोड़ेंगे इसको तो 5 थोड़ा 225 होता है टोटल। 5 टोटल 225 मार्क्स का इवैल्यूएशन होता है, राइट? So that is your examination. Now we will deal with paper 2 here. Paper 2, which is, polity, constitution, and then polity, constitution, and then, yes, social justice, and then governance, and then IR. Here we will deal all these things, 3 things: polity, constitution, and social justice. Fine. That we will talk about. Now, first, since you have started your preparation, कुछ basic चीजें मैं बता दूं, when you first thing you need to go through syllabus, right? And question bank. Question bank, right? Syllabus जो है, the entire syllabus you go through once, twice, thrice, right? And you also move to the question bank, and from the last 2014 to 2022, that would be sufficient to analyze what kind of question had come, right? What kind of question has been asked by the UPSC. And you should do in all the paper. I'm not talking about paper 2 only, that I will tell you what kind of question has come, right? What is, should be studied, what should not study, we should left out. That I'll tell you, don't worry. But for each paper, right, 4 GS paper, then you have essay paper, then you have optional. For each, you have to just look into that syllabus and also the question bank. Fine, and that you should do. ठीक है. Now अगर आप मुझसे पूछोगे कि सर ये we will study polity, or right, so polity में क्या हालचाल है? If you study 5 chapters, that would be sufficient for your PT, right? अगर आप PT के लिए 5 चैप्टर पढ़ ले, right, for PT, right, 5 or 6 chapter I can add one more chapter, that would be sufficient. अब वो चैप्टर कौन कौन से हैं? तो पहला है प्रीएम्बल, right? Or preamble, then this is a big chapter. Preamble, here you need to talk about socialism, right? You should understand secularism, you should understand democracy, then you should understand liberty, right? You should understand equality, justice. ये जितने भी कॉन्सेप्ट है, जो मेटा कॉन्सेप्ट है यहाँ पर, राइट, ये प्रीएम्बल में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, राइट? प्रीएम्बल एंड इट्स सैलिएंट फीचर्स. This is a very important for PT, the first chapter, right? ये पहला चैप्टर है जो PT के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, right? Making sense to you? Then I'll come to the mains also. Of course, I'll not teach you separately. We'll study comprehensive manner. Yeah, making sense. Shivani and Avinav. Clear? Okay. Now, the second chapter that you should focus on, everyone should focus, that is fundamental right and DPSP. Yeah, one more chapter I left it. Historical background is also important. Right, third, I'm writing third. First, I should have written historical background of Indian Constitution. Historical background, preamble, FRDPSP, right? Then you come to the, यहाँ पर हम आपको बताते हैं historical background, then preamble and its salient features, then third is FRDPSP and DPSP. Fourth is come to the parliament, right? The parliament is very important. Parliament, or I say, yeah. Fifth is judiciary, right? Sixth is PRIs, right? ये काफी है, right? And if you have command over these all 5-6 chapter, you can cross, if for example, if 20 question will be asked in polity, you'll be able to solve 15 question. I can't guarantee 5 questions. Right? Miscellaneous you can't touch. And every year UPSC asks some miscellaneous question in PT. आपको नहीं टच करना, आपको 15 क्वेश्चन जो है सेफली टच करना है, राइट? और 14 क्वेश्चन, लेट्स से 14 क्वेश्चन पॉलिटी में, एंड देन यू हैव टू मूव अवे, राइट? यू हैव टू मूव फ्रॉम पॉलिटी. नाउ कम टू द मेंस. कम टू द मेंस. नाउ मेंस में जो है वो बहुत ही वास्ट है, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल प्रियम्बल से भी क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, राइट? प्रियम्बल, फंडामेंटल राइट, द एनडीपीएसपी, एंड देन यू नो फेडरलिज्म, राइट? दैट इज सेंटर स्टेट रिलेशन. Then you know parliament. Here I should write government. When I say write government, there are 2 layers of government: the union government, there are state government, and the 3rd layer of government is called the local government. पता है ना? There are 3 layers of government in India. First is called union government, second is called state government, and third is called local government. We have 3 layers of government in India. Nahi? Shivani and Abhinav. We have 3 layers of government. हमारे पास यूनियन गवर्नमेंट भी है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट भी है, लोकल गवर्नमेंट भी है. नाउ यूनियन गवर्नमेंट में और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में भी, लोकल गवर्नमेंट, देयर आर 3 ब्रांचेज ऑफ गवर्नमेंट. कौन कौन सा है? लेजिस्लेचर, executive and judiciary. है ना? For example, union legislation is known as parliament, right? So we need to study government and each layer of government, right? So union government, like legislature, executive में क्या क्या है? Council of Minister, राइट? प्रेसिडेंट. प्रेसिडेंट से भी क्वेश्चन आते हैं, प्राइम मिनिस्टर से भी आते हैं, एग्जीक्यूटिव और अदर काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर से भी आता है, राइट? लेजिस्लेचर में स्पीकर, राज्यसभा, लोकसभा सब से आते हैं. देन यू हैव जुडिशरी, सुप्रीम कोर्ट. सिमिलरली स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हैज 3 ब्रांचेस: लेजिस्लेचर, एग्जीक्यूटिव एंड जुडिशरी. Similarly, local government has, you know, Gram Sabha works as a legislature, then it has executive, and then it has a Gram Panchayat as a judiciary. So government is very important. Now here again, you know, election, right? Election, political parties, electoral reform. ये सब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इलेक्शंस, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, इलेक्टोरल रिफॉर्म्स, ये सब बहुत जरूरी है, राइट? ठीक है. देन प्रेशर ग्रुप. प्रेशर ग्रुप्स, यू नो, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज. पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को ऊपर लिख चुका हूं. ओके ओके. प्रेशर ग्रुप्स, electoral reforms. Yeah, got the idea? These are the major topic that has been asked. Then constitutional bodies, constitutional and non-constitutional bodies. ये सब है. इतना मेंस के लिए बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है. हैव यू नोटेड डाउन? फॉर प्रीएम्बल, फंडामेंटल राइट, एनडीपीएसपी, फेडरलिज्म, गवर्नमेंट, इलेक्शंस, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, इलेक्टोरल रिफॉर्म्स, प्रेशर ग्रुप्स, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल एंड नॉन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी. ज्यादा नहीं है, इसी को हमें अच्छे से पढ़ना है। ये मेजर है, इसमें से 80% क्वेश्चन आपको आते हैं, 80 to 90% क्वेश्चन इसी में से आते हैं। यू नो वन थिंग दैट यू नो, अगर सिलेबस है तो अगर आपका 30% ऐसा सिलेबस है जहां से 70% के सवाल आते हैं, यू नो, ये हर एग्जाम में होता है, राइट? देयर आर 30% सिलेबस and you can compare it. If you are covered 38% syllabus seriously, 70% questions may come from that there. It happens on also with the UPSC. So we have to be focused. इतना डरना नहीं कि बहुत सारा लंबा चौड़ा syllabus है. We know that syllabus is very vast, right? But we don't need to bother about it, right? So that is the entire syllabus of this. Now अब बोलोगे सर कितना क्वेश्चन आता है पॉलिटी में, पूरा पेपर में, पेपर 2 में? तो ठीक ठाक क्वेश्चन आता है, you know, if I talk about 250 marks, then 130, 140, 120 to 140 marks comes from polity, right? और मेजॉरिटी क्वेश्चन वही सेंट्रल स्टेट रिलेशंस एंड गवर्नमेंट से आते हैं, इलेक्शन से। आप देख लीजिए, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी, ये 4-5 टॉपिक जो मैंने मेंस के लिए बताया बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। फाइन, you can just go through the syllabus. Now come to how we will study. Of course, you know that we are going to talk about polity, right? So first, you know, I'll talk about making of India's constitution. Making of India's constitution. Historical background is all about, you know, data, factual history. I'll give you, you know, the notes on it, and then I'll give you time. Okay, 1 week you read it, you know, twice, thrice, you know, and in one class we can discuss, 1 or 2 class we can discuss it, and I'll take a test. Right? So, of course, we will talk about historical background. Right? And then making of India's constitution, and then we will talk about preamble. Right? After preamble, we will move to its salient feature. Right? We will talk about basic concepts like, you know, what is equality. Right? I'll teach you what is justice. Right? And see, I'll talk about, you know, for example, liberty. What is liberty? Then I'll talk about what is socialism. I'll talk about, you know, democracy. I'll talk about, you know, what is meaning of secularism. Right? So these are the salient features which we'll talk about, and, you know, we'll talk about the different features of Indian socialism. Right? Preamble. So we will talk about different features of the preamble, and then I'll move to fundamental right, and DPSP, and then I'll teach you, after this I'll teach you, you know, federalism. Right? Right, इससे पहले आपको पढ़ाएंगे हम लोग अमेंडमेंट प्रोसीजर्स, then like basic structure doctrine वगैरह, then federalism, central state relation, we will talk about central state relations, and then we will talk about national emergency. Yeah, are you writing? Are you writing all this? DPSP का डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी, Oh. Directive principle of state policy, FR का fundamental right. Fundamental rights, right? Just DPSP means directive principle of state policy, part 4 of the Indian Constitution. You have noted down? Yeah, Shivani, are you writing? Yeah, very good. Very good. So we will talk about national emergency, and then I'll talk about, union parliament. Union legislature, that is parliament. Right? And then I'll talk about executive. Then I'll talk about judiciary. Then I'll talk about state government. And then I'll talk about, after state government, I'll talk about PRI, Panchayati Raj Institution. Right? I'll talk about municipalities. Right? After this, I'll talk about, I will talk about constitutional bodies. Right? Statutory bodies. Right? And then I'll talk about election. Election, electoral law, election commission तो पहले ही हो जाएगा, उसी के साथ एक साथ करेंगे. Right? Electoral reform. Right? And then we'll move to, political parties, pressure group. Right? ये sufficient है इतना. Right? These are the topics that we will cover up, and we will cover up comprehensively. We are not going to study separately for PT and separately for men's. No, it would be integrated study. It would be a composite study, so that our study can map the PT as well as men's, and it will also help you in writing some part of essay, right, and also in interview. Yeah. Tell me, Shivani and Abhinav. Is it clear to you? अच्छा, क्या पढ़ना है क्या नहीं पढ़ना है, एनसीईआरटी वेनसीईआरटी बहुत कंफ्यूजन होगा. आई विल टॉक अबाउट, राइट, कि एनसीईआरटी पढ़ना है कि नहीं पढ़ना है. नाउ आपको कुछ नहीं पढ़ना है, वी विल टॉक अबाउट व्हेन आई फॉर एग्जांपल प्रीएम्बल में पूरी एनसीईआरटी में पढ़ा दूंगा. व्हेन आई विल टॉक अबाउट प्रीएम्बल, आई विल टेल यू टू ओके रीड एनसीईआरटी दिस चैप्टर ऑफ, फॉर एग्जांपल एनसीईआरटी 11th class political theory, there is a chapter on rights, on socialism, or for example social justice. There is a chapter on secularism. I'll tell you to, while teaching preamble, I'll tell you to go through and I will explain here. So we will take a very long time in preamble. ज्यादा टाइम हम लोग प्रीएम्बल में, उसके बाद फंडामेंटल राइट एंड डीपीएसपी में, फंडामेंटल राइट में ज्यादा टाइम लगता है, उसके बाद पार्लियामेंट में. ये तीन ही जगह है जहां पे ज्यादा टाइम हम लोग देंगे, फंडामेंटल राइट, डीपीएसपी, पार्लियामेंट और प्रीएम्बल. देखो कितना संकरा हो गया हमारा स्टडी, राइट. एंड वी विल टच अपॉन, ऑफ कोर्स आई विल टीच यू एटलीस्ट मतलब अप्रोक्सीमेटली 1 month फंडामेंटल राइट. Right, each article we will go very detailed. right? And I'll take approximately 20 classes on parliament. So now you can see कि कितना हमने narrow down कर लिया अपना study, and narrow down करना बहुत जरूरी है, focus करना बहुत जरूरी है, right? So that would be our focus of study. I'm not starting anything from today. Just we have introduced ourselves, each other, we knew each other, and I told you that what is the pattern of examination and what is the paper that we are supposed to study. We are here for paper 2, and it has. If you have any question as of now, then you can ask. कोई सवाल हो? एनसीईआरटी पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. Class notes is very sufficient, right? After class notes, I'll tell you to read Lakshmikant, certain part, not all. For example, Lakshmikant में historical background उसी से पढ़ना आपको. जो historical background chapter है उसी में से पढ़ना है, right? और Bare Act. What is called Bare Act? Bare Act आता है आर्टिकल का, ये आप खरीद लीजिएगा, राइट? आइदर पीएम बख्शी का खरीदिएगा या यूनिवर्सल पब्लिकेशन का आता है, right? So there will be three things with you: class notes, Lakshmikant, and Bare Act. These three would be the more than sufficient for your study. Don't need to be here and there. You don't need to go here and there. Now you tell me. So what is Bare Act? Bare Act is a simple book where you can find all articles. You know that more than 400 articles are there in the Indian Constitution. So you can find Article 1, Article 2, Article 3, Article 4, Article 5. Fine. So Bare Act is called, it is a book. You ask, give me a Bare Act from the bookshop, it will give you. Right? और ये पीएम बख्शी का देखिएगा, पीएम बख्शी का इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, वो आपको मिल जाएगा ऑनलाइन. You can buy it online or offline, whatever you want. So three things should be with you. मतलब Lakshmikant and Bare Act. Class notes, so of course it will take time. My mode of teaching would be explanation, right, and dictation, right, and asking question from you, to how much you have got it. Yeah, making some sense? Avinav and Shivani? Yeah. One more thing I would like to tell you that 3, 4, this is the first meeting. I didn't teach you anything, right? But, at the same time, we have to learn many things from the first class. Let me tell you 4 things that we need to maintain. First is, the commitment that we have done to each other, right? कि अगर आपने पढ़ना सोचा है कि मुझे पढ़ना है तो आपको पढ़ना है, राइट? अगर कमिटमेंट किया है तो पढ़ना है. दूसरा है रेगुलरिटी. यू मस्ट बी रेगुलर, राइट? कंटिन्यूटी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. कल बोलेंगे आप कि सर घर में ये इशू था, परसों शादी हो जाएगी किसी की, तब उसमें आपको जाना पड़ेगा. हाँ, परसों तरसों उसके नेक्स्ट डे उसके बगल वाले से कुछ लफड़ा हो गया तो पापा ने बुला लिया. हाँ, वो ऐसे होता है ना सर, इसलिए मैं क्लास नहीं कर पाया, बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा, राइट? सो रेगुलरिटी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Commitment is also because you have, since Shivani, you have already left the job, right? And Avinav, you are in the second year, you must have thought before joining the class, isn't it? You must have thought कि मुझे तैयारी करनी है इसकी और मुझे करनी है. तो क्यों करनी है कुछ सवाल आंसर आपके पास होंगे कि व्हाई यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग दिस एग्जाम फॉर दिस एग्जामिनेशन, राइट, and you have made some commitment, yes, I have to do it, then do it, right, and be regular in the class. Third, right, you have to focus, don't divert, take this exam seriously and remain focused, right, remain focused. ऐसा नहीं कि बैंक का फॉर्म भर दिए, यहाँ का फॉर्म भर दिए, पीसीएस एग्जामिनेशन यू कैन फेल, राइट, बट नॉट मोर देन, मतलब उसके बाद ऐसा नहीं कि बैंक पीओ भर के एसएससी एग्जामिनेशन भर दिए और इसी से आप चाह रहे हैं कि सारा काम हो जाएगा, एंड यू विल बी, दैट विल बी डाइवर्जन फ्रॉम यू, फ्रॉम योर साइड. बी फोकस ऑन इट, ठीक है. एंड फोर्थ, यू नो, बिलीव इन योर सेल्फ, राइट. Right, and it will come from the regularity. It will come from the regularity. If you do your work every day, you know, rigorously, and if you continue this process for, let's say, 4 months or 5 months, there will be, you know, a different level of confidence that will come into you. वो अलग सा कॉन्फिडेंस आपको 4 महीने में दिखेगा, ठीक है. तो ये सब चीज थोड़ा सा रखना है. और बताओ, आज के लिए इतना ही. अभी तो कुछ नहीं पढ़ा है आपको, और कुछ सवाल है आपके मन में तो बोलिए. Actually, you know, this is the off season. This is the off season, Shivani. So since you joined and the institute had started the class, so you are only 2 as of now. More may join little soon, right? This is completely off season. I'll start 2 o'clock. I take also another polity class. उसमें 50 लोग हैं करे. Fine. So you are only 2 here. Let me tell you honestly. Nobody in front of me. Yeah, I thought this is a offline, but this is an online class. Yeah, nobody in front of me. Chairs are there. Chairs are there. Fine, but no individual. All chairs are mute as spectator. Right. So I expect from you both, you should speak. You should intervene in the, you know, in the process. You ask questions. जी पूछें, कुछ पूछना है तो पूछे, नहीं तो नेक्स्ट क्लास यू कैन आस्क टुमारो एनीथिंग. राइट, एक कॉपी रखिए. नो क्वेश्चन, सवाल नहीं है तो आप नोट्स बनाने के लिए एक कॉपी रखिए जहां पे नोट्स बनाना चाहिए. आपका नोट्स बुक होना चाहिए, एंड एवरी डे नोट्स यू कैन मेक इट. लेट मी टेल यू वन थिंग. नोटबुक में जो पेज होता है ना, ये जो हमारा पेज है, मान लो दिस इज आवर पेज, you 1/4 right side you keep blank and then you start write. Your note should be like this. Fine. 1/4 space you must leave, and leave it for the future. I'll tell you what is the use of that space. It's very important space in your notebook. ओके अभिनव, जब भी आप नोट्स बनाएंगे 1/4 से थोड़ा ज्यादा ही छोड़ देंगे राइट साइड में, ठीक है. सो हम लोग शुरू करेंगे नोट्स बनाना, पढ़ना लिखना, राइट. सो फॉर टुडे आई विल स्टॉप हियर. सी यू टुमारो. ओके शिवानी एंड अभिनव, सी यू टुमारो. Yeah, same to you, Shivani, and see you.